it to this day, so she loves it. It's a perfect tool for that kind of thing. Then last year we put together a technology task force to decide what the teachers need with a group of teachers, parents, administrators, board members. And we decided to pilot 4 document cameras and projectors in one. That seemed to be the talk. We looked at Promethean boards. We looked briefly, we had a demo here, and the smart board. And we decided to pilot 4 of these, thinking the members of the tech task force would actually share them. Well, that didn't happen, because once they got them, and Lori Hill was one of those people, right?
Yes, no, never left there.
And then somehow the wheels fell off the cart. We couldn't roll it back to another class, which shows it was a big success. And so we asked the teachers if they wanted something like that. And so in the end, 46 teachers said, yes, I'd like a presentation station, without really knowing what it would be, because I didn't really know what it would be yet, because we order over the summer. But we knew we wanted a document camera, projector, DVD player. It used to be a VHS player, and we changed that to only be VHS. A speaker, we use a Caliphone speaker that allows a wireless microphone hookup, and the card itself. That was an important component of that. So there it is in action. And just for the specifics, this is the actual products we buy. And if you are thinking of doing something like this, don't forget it. With all this product, I guessed about 2 to 3 man-hours, because Lori helped put them together along with a team of people over the summer. 2 to 3 man-hours per cart. It's hard to say because you're lining them all up and doing one step at a time. Hard to know exactly per cart. But it was all women, so they wouldn't let me open a box or open a cart in the summer, so I want to thank those ladies. We often hire the aides or teachers during the summer to be part of the summer task force. We all get paid hourly to get this kind of summer work done.
So that would be 2 or 3 woman hours.
That's right. That's true. Yeah.
Right.
Some
do it twice as fast as me.
Yeah. Some other information. The library ones are slightly different. We put it's over there. You can see we went with a higher end Elmo projector, which we're having some issues with the lighting. It seems to be too powerful or something like that. It's something odd with that model that we're having. It bleaches the page, but it shows a whole page. The downside of this one, the teachers say it doesn't show a whole page. We say, well, it wasn't designed to do that. And so then they prop it up on a couple of books, and everybody's happy.
Well, the arm extension.
It does extend, but it still is not designed, right? Almost, right?
It almost shows the whole page. Yeah.
We had some very persnickety teachers that if it's not 8.5 by 11, I'm out of here. So we can do that. Currently, most of our teachers are using just the document camera. They pretty much upgraded from an overhead, and then taking advantage of the features of the document camera. And we're seeing more teachers use the computer, but not enough yet. But that's okay, because you want to get used to it stair-step, one thing at a time. And then we're going to add interactivity in the future, we think. Some sort of smart board, maybe wireless mice keyboards. There's been some brief discussions of clickers, because we'll be using that, or whatever new technology might be out there that we don't know yet. So that's our introduction to the life of the presentation stations. Any questions?
Well, do all the teachers have a laptop to hook up to it?
I'll say probably 99% of them.
Did you think about possibly not buying the DVD player and just using the DVD player as part of the laptop?
Oh no, that was not an option, because we give teachers the oldest laptops, so the carts, we have the wireless carts, and so after the warranty is up, then we give them to teachers. So some of the models that are still in rotation don't have a DVD player. Yeah. And the DVD player was $50 or something, so it wasn't a big expense.
Right.
This is wireless? So, I mean,
No.
as far as, okay. Do they have printing capability?
Print any printer in the building unrelated.
So you save it to the you save the computer and later print?
You can print any time. The school is wireless, so you
Oh,
can
the
print.
school is wireless, okay.
Yeah. So you could print anytime you wanted to.
Okay.
And we do have computers in the classroom, certainly, as you can tell here at Oak Grove. We have computers in the classroom. We have 5, 6 computer labs, and now 4 carts, portable carts. So, but we're seeing the teachers didn't like the 3, not enough labs. This fits the need for those teachers, and the whole cart is under $2,000, probably $2,000, including the man hours, woman hours. So, and then I do like the Caliphone speaker, that it sounds nice and loud. It's very loud. And then we can use it in other settings because it uses a wireless microphone, and you can even set up one microphone with 2 speakers to make it louder. Like for this room, it would take, for Veterans Day, we had 2 speakers set up on either side, but 1 microphone. And it comes with wireless mics or lavalier mics or something like that. We have a couple of different options.
What's the make of the document camera?
This is an Avermedia. We got this because we visited Lake Bluff, and they had the same model. That was anyone from Lake Bluff? So we saw it, they said, do you like it? Yes. Okay, when they called it, I like the same model they had.
It's cheaper than an
It was a little, and I think it has some nice
It's
features.
less expensive than an Elmo.
It is definitely less expensive than an Elmo. It's around $500. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure what I need.
I'll get you.
Now, how much was
This is
the
my
cart
cart.
itself?
The cart is,
As I recall, carts are rather.
And mine's dusty.
I just looked it up. I want to say $400 in bulk. This is adjustable, this cart. The teacher's office.
And I did this too, actually lifted it up, which is, you can see I didn't dust it back, but put the speaker underneath because it was under the cart, and then that way you can hear it. And I might even put this cart together this summer, I'm not sure. And Deb would put the little remotes on it.
This is Lori's cart. We
Yes.
rolled it from her
Yes,
classroom.
yeah. And then I was going to tell you, this summer I worked, Jason was nice enough to let me work this summer, and I knew we were getting all this tech, and I wasn't very tech savvy at all. And we worked with Deb and Mr. Huber and a couple other teachers and aides this summer. So I wanted to do it, so I got on the ground up, like I was putting the cart together. We put where everything went on the cart, how it hooked up, where the wires went, so when at least I was in the classroom, I could either help somebody else or know how to fix it and not ask them. So it was kind of and we had a great time actually putting everything together. So I use.
Can I jump in?
Yes, go ahead, I'm sorry.
At the end, just by coincidence, did I say this? We're going to demo this new board by Polyvision, Eno Polyvision. It's a new type of smartboard that's been out a couple of weeks. We'll see if it works. The guy came out earlier today. He's coming in a few minutes to pick it up. So we promised to just show it to you. We don't know what we're going to do with it either, but it's interesting.
Do you want to show me first?
Should we do it now then?
Yeah, he's going to come.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at the time, so it's coming. Any other questions while we're still?
Is that thing pretty easy to move around if you're taking it between classes and stuff?
That's the,
I'm sorry?
Is it easy to move around? You know, if you're going
I just
to-
moved a couple desks and slid it around, and then I have it, like it would be facing
Come on.
my whiteboard, and the desks are behind me, and then at the end, I just push up towards the board and out of the way. So, and I
You
have.
don't share it with anybody else? I mean, that's
No, it
just
just
your
stays
room.
in my room, and then the other red document camera that we had last year really didn't leave my room. And then when we had our meeting in the fall, we, I teach the Constitution, and at the very end, it was a great way to say, okay, because make sure you have this highlighted, this is going to be on the test, without, holding it up somewhere, and this is where you need to. And mine was hooked up to the television, and the one thing I like about these better is the red one, the light was separate, and you couldn't get it down far enough or close enough to light the page, so there was always like a shadow. You had to adjust a little bit. So when we got this, I loved it, but yeah.
for some reason though, just to be irritating, that didn't want to work on my computer, but it worked on an identical MacBook. Hey, can you?
Can you get a slant?
Just.
Show me this screw the thing.
Because I have to.
This?
Yes.
Is it on here?
Ah,
Drop that.
You might have to move it closer or something. Okay, so this is how it works, and Janice was at the training also, so jump in if I forget something.
And then just lift it up.
Watch the
Yeah, watch that laugh.
the computer might go.
This is more entertaining.
Do they come bigger than that?
Yeah.
You got it.
And then you can, on this camera, you can.
Jason, this one right here is.
They're for kindergartners or what?
Right.
Yeah, you don't want it to go overboard.
Yeah. Got it. Okay, we're getting it.
What's that?
Good.
Get to sit here. There.
There's plenty more food over here if anybody needs seconds, thirds, fourths, whatever.
So this is the demo board that he brought with him because it fits in the trunk of his car, but it comes 4 by 6. And it says it's working. Let me see if I have to. Then this basically is a mouse. I've used it about 3 seconds. And I think I have to have it calibrated.
Yeah, each. Yeah, right?
Go Vanna.
Vanna. But I don't want to do that.
Okay, so now it's a mouse. So if I want to open this picture, it closes. Is that anything open?
Maybe slower taps?
I got it to work before. Because I could move things around. If you have a lot. Then, so it should just be the mouse, because we talked about this on the touching the screen. And then this is magnetic, so it can go on the board. And if you want a keyboard, you can type there. You need it to be the mouse again. And if you need to paint, you can pick the brush, and then you can paint right on your whiteboard. So it's a mouse, and I can see I'm doing something. I'm able to do something as a mouse. Why I couldn't double click on it, I'm not sure. And then you can have some colors you can pick from. Red. Oops, I gotta go into
What
the pen.
company is that?
It's called Polyvision, although I know it's Steelcase Company. They've been making I just heard his lecture. They've been making chalkboards for many years and whiteboards, and now they created this new unit for education. And doing this, you can have different thickness of pens. There's different erasers, and then there is software that you can. I'm sorry, we'll go through this. You can print right from here and save right from here. Save it as a JPEG when you have the right software installed. There's also applications that are not on this computer, on his, that are like the Smartboard software that have pre-designed templates in them, and you can adjust them and change them. And it also can run PowerPoint slides. That's what this arrow means. So if you were if this was in your classroom, if everything was mounted permanently, you would then cut off this top piece, because that's how you calibrate it. So if you would be calibrating every day, that would be off, and then you would just have this around somewhere, or on the floor, or on your desk or something, and touching it.
Except that if you're using it with a cart like this, and the cart gets bumped or moved or something,
You have to recalibrate it, right. Also, this is a regular whiteboard, so it's magnetic, and you can use regular white board markers. So it's a whiteboard when not in use.
Did you mention how much it was?
Yeah, if I didn't, I just know there's 2 different sizes. 4 by 6 was $1,500 or $1,600, and then the bigger one, 4 by 8, was around $2,000. That's their list price, so he won't tell me what it is.
And
But this
how
is just a
many-
little demo board.
This is just the demo board that he takes with him for demos. He's
Uh-huh.
going to another school later tonight or tomorrow morning.
But I like
something.
this little size, because you can use it for a small group of people, right?
Well, you'll probably see him in a minute. I send him to Panera. But that's, to me,
here.
yeah, I'm sorry?
He could have eaten here.
Well, I just thought the reps, we don't want reps in here, I'm sorry, without your approval. So that's what it does. It's a mouse. It's using Bluetooth technology, so you have the pen, which has a little camera in it. You have a little Bluetooth USB thing, and some driver and some software installed. And so then they provide some training, and they seem to want to support training.
And don't they have like a longer stick for it too? Like if you have the younger children that need to reach higher for the
Oh, I didn't see that. Was that in the demo
Yeah, I
video?
think it was.
If you go to Polyvision at YouTube, they posted their commercial there. They have a 6-minute commercial.
And then they also have slates. You
Oh,
can
they-
carry around a slate like
Oh.
an artist board kind of that you can use as your remote. They had all kinds of stuff.
So it's a different technique to the same problem. How do you teach from your board? So in some ways, this is the next fit for us because it's letting teachers use their same computer. They can use the same software if I could get the mouse to work, because you could just do whatever that's there. And then you could add those extra features and software if you needed them. That's all. That was my demo. So it's just, Eno is the name of the product, and Polyvision is the name of the company. His name's Doug, so when he comes in, we'll say, "Hi, Doug." That's okay. Next show and tell. Thanks. Back to Lori.
Oh, back to you.
Okay, I'll just show you the PowerPoint. You're pretty familiar with the document camera, and sometimes I go back and forth. If I have a book or a picture that I want to show, we were just showing the nice picture of John Calhoun, and I explained to him I haven't found a good one yet of him. But anyway, I'll show you what I do for my notes. And I have a whiteboard too in my room. Let me get back to the one. Is my speaker hooked up?
When you project onto the whiteboard? Or do
Whiteboard.
you project onto a screen?
I do both, and then sometimes if it's a long movie, even if I'll download a movie from United Streaming and it's long, then I'll just put it in a PowerPoint and hit play, and then I put that on the screen. But if it's just a short movie, and I'll show you, I just leave it on the whiteboard, and then even with my notes, because then I can use yellow or green or whatever color and say, you need to make sure you know this, or so. Can I close this?
It's all yours. I might have just one of your
All
comments.
right, that's okay, that's, oh, hang on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we just started, I'll show you the one we did today.
Yeah, because that's how.
Okay, here's what we did today on Indian removal. And then what I do is I leave some of them blank so that they're not just sitting there copying notes. They have to participate. They have to, give me some of the answers. And then if I say, where does this go? Or make sure that you know this. And like I said, then I'll just underline it. And then I also try to say, you don't need to write everything down, abbreviate the states. You don't have to copy everything down exactly word for word. And then again, another example. And then I'm going to keep going so I can show you the movie from
One of the first big challenges Andrew Jackson faced as president concerned the rights of American Indians. Back then, pressure from white settlers and real estate speculators had led the states of Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi to seize Native American farmlands. And even though these actions
You
clearly
guys get pretty
violated
much the
federal
idea
treaties,
on
President
that, and
Jackson-
that's basically what I use it for. But I put down, say we had ISATs, and you were asking me about the screen, we had a little bit of a change of schedule, so I'd write down the schedule on the whiteboard and then just pull down the screen. So that's how I use it. I don't know what I would do without it. I use it every day. I don't even, I've used the movies for the DVDs, and I don't really use my TV anymore unless it's an absolute, a tape for a movie. And the kids are used to it. The kids like even writing on the whiteboard. They can see better, they can hear better than the TV. And Dad gave me a longer cord for this to attach to the bigger computers because the movies download better on this one. So, does anybody have any questions?
So you still show VHS movies on a separate VCR?
Rarely, if I have to, I do, but,
But you can hook it up through here as well.
yeah.
It would make sense to just
Right.
take the
Although it's, yeah, it would be.
VCR off the TV.
Yes, it would if I could get,
We have done that for
Yeah.
a few of the stations.
That's
Yeah.
next year.
but I have tennis balls on my desk, so they can just turn the desk. But yeah, that'll be next year. But, yeah, and I try not to use, try to use just film clips anyway. So it's been great. I mean, I don't know what I would do without it, so.
What did you say about a bigger cord so it downloads faster?
Well, I have my presentation sheets like here, and then I have a table with the Intel and
Like this.
like this one, the iMac here. And then Deb got me a longer cord, so what I do is sometimes I'll put my notes on here, and then I just swap the cords if it's not on my laptop, and the movies are better quality. I mean, I couldn't do that tonight, obviously, but I have a really, really long cord, and then I'm also pretty good switching gears sometimes if something doesn't download correctly and I know it's on my laptop, I just swap the cords and plug in my laptop and go. So, so anyway, okay, that's it. So thank you. You need my computer, Ms. Freary?
Yes.
Okay.
So my name's Anna Clary, and this is my first year here. Moved here from Michigan, but I was using the document camera projector when I taught back in Michigan too, so I was so excited when I came here and was able to use it again. Because you really, I don't know, for me it's almost, I don't know, I feel naked without it. I use it every single hour, every day. And let's see, where's the, this is a little bit.
Go to browser.
I have a different projector model.
Try it one more time.
Why didn't it fund it when it sounded?
Because I kept pushing it, because I'm mine.
Oh.
I have to push it several times on mine. Just a slightly different picture. Cool. So I teach 8th grade science. First thing every day the kids walk in, and I have a journal question on the board. This is really nice because it does switch around, so you can turn it to whatever angle you want. But they come in and they've got a journal question to work on. And it's awesome because it's in color too. So like Lori was saying, I typically project right onto my whiteboard. I don't know that I hardly ever use my screen, only if I'm doing long videos or movies where I want it really big. But usually I just project right onto my whiteboard. I give the kids 2 or 3 minutes to fill it out, call them up, and they can come up and write the answers right in on the whiteboard. But the nice thing is I can reuse this every class because they're not actually writing on here. So I get to use this all day, and then kids are absent, I just put it in a folder and they come and make it up the next day. The other thing I do is I actually, I write the notes with my kids instead of using PowerPoint. I've got some on PowerPoint too, but I actually go through it every hour. I write the notes with the kids. For me, I find it helps with pacing and wait time. I know exactly how long it's taking me to write it. I can stop and pause and then give examples or talk to them. So we've been doing gas laws and gas behavior, and so I put these up and draw the graphs with them, and then I can do a demo or an example, and I can open up my little syringe to show how Boyle's law. But if the kids in the back can't see, I can do it right up here under the projector, and that way all the students can see. And I can show them how pressure and volume are related and what happens to volume when you increase the pressure. After that, the other nice thing I have, and I'm just going to switch over to the computer, it's really nice because it does switch quickly, so I can go back and forth. I'm doing notes, put this down, and switch over to the computer, and my students have a textbook that's online. So, let's see, this one. So I can pull this up, and this is right off of their textbook. It's just the entire book cover to cover online. It's the Prentice Hall series. So I can pull this up and pull up graphs and data from their textbook, and then we can go through and talk about the graph together, go over the questions. Again, I can write on this directly onto my whiteboard and then erase it for the next class. And it really, it seems to hold the kids' attention. They're more motivated, I find. I haven't had anyone fall asleep ever, which is pretty good. So it keeps them involved and it keeps them engaged, and it's not hard to use. I picked it up really quickly. It's relatively easy technology, and that I think is the most thing. It's very user friendly. Other effects, I think Deb is really good with the document camera too, but you can freeze the images. So if I wanted to take like a picture, I could freeze it and then I can remove this and take it off and the image stays up there. Just hit it again, it's back. You can change the effect. You can do black and white, negative. The kids sometimes, they want me to take the notes in negative because they think it's cool to see my hand up there glowing. But there's just a lot of really neat things you can do. Camera, capture pictures and save them. It's got a little memory device. So again, it's really easy to use, super simple to learn, and the kids like it.
Can you talk about the capturing and the saving part? Does it go right to your computer, or is it always only a device?
You can use it as both, I think we said. Did we figure out there was or we were looking at that, if we could save it?
On the device, I believe, and it only holds like 30 pictures. It's the max that it holds, so it has only a really small amount of pictures that it can hold.
So can you transfer that to a computer somehow? Is
Yeah,
there like
there's
a
a
USB or
USB.
I
something?
believe so, yeah.
Yes.
So these are all the pictures that must be on this one. This is the one I just took. Yeah, and you can scroll through these using the button and then go back and,
And if you want to freeze 1 second while you're up there, just, she was talking about how she uses the whiteboard, and you can see I kind of went crazy with the pictures. But what I did was I gave the kids a graphic organizer, and then I put up on my whiteboard, sometimes rather than just doing an outline or notes, and then they filled in the graphic organizer. And for a lot of kids, it's easier this way, but then I can do what she did too. You can erase, you can add, for each class, so that's why those were there, so.
So you could preload all your notes.
absolutely.
And then just go from one slide to the next.
You could without having to put them in reposition them under here. That's
Especially
another
like for
option.
science with experiments or something, that would be handy if you wanted to step by step.
Yeah, and it's really neat for demos, like I said, because it puts it up there, and then the kids in the back
But you can't save it,
can't see.
or could you, save a sequence of slides and then reuse them next year or something like that?
They're just JPEGs.
Yeah.
Essentially,
You
yeah.
can load them back up again.
Does it also make like little short movies? Because I know that when we have at school,
Yeah.
it can make a little time lapse. So if you're doing like a chemistry experiment, and then you can show the phases.
I believe it does.
It probably
I believe it does make
does.
videos, yeah. I haven't used the video. You can hook your computer directly into this too. I know, that's another option.
Oh,
And I think that's how you get the images from here to
Actually, from the
back and forth.
From the USB. That's
You use the VGA?
That would you use that
Mhm.
for? We bought projectors on purpose that have 2 VGA ins,
Yeah.
so you could switch with the remote. But if you only had a projector with 1 VGA in, you could use the document camera as the extension. Say that slowly. So just so you could have 2 devices. The computer would go to the document camera. The document camera would go to the projector.
Yeah.
So in other words, when you're
500, 600.
Yeah, they're about
Somewhere in the
500 to
middle.
600. It's not bad. There's just a slight delay when you write in real time. But it is kind of neat just to do it, and you can highlight right on there, write in different colors, like Lori was saying, or you can do it on the whiteboard as well. So.
One of the reasons we didn't go with the other model, the red one, was because the delay was too much for Heather's.
I was the
she was
because
the-
I was reading, Pat, Francine and I are reading a lot of our books in library classes for the younger grades, have very small pictures with lots of detail, and you want them to get to put the books down, and as we're turning the page, you were nauseous, because it was such a delay, and it was real wavy, so, these are better, this one, much
Definitely get a
better.
loaner.
Yes, I immediately said, you gotta send these back.
Yeah.
I do a lot of the same things, like I take my notes with my kids, and I also do PowerPoints at times, but I also use it, if my students, sometimes I will let them listen to like jazz music or like an easy listening music when they're working in the classroom. So I download my music on my iTunes, and this is obviously not my laptop, but my iTunes, and I'll have a couple of CDs, and I play it directly from here. So I don't need an additional radio or any kind of thing to sit my iPod in. I just download it right to my computer and use it for that. Also, in elementary, I know we use it a lot, the document camera, and put words to songs on that and put it in color, and then the kids can know exactly when to go from line to line on that. And they love it too because they can see your hand moving, and they're like, so cool. So, yeah, there's like,
you shine it at them.
yes,
Project it
yeah,
at
because
them
you can project
and
this
all of
at
us.
and they'll come on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. So, but yeah, I'm kind of like them. I don't know what I would do with it.
Is there any problem with the, how long the light bulb works? I mean, does it end this for a year? or-
It doesn't, there's also a little, this one you can turn off really quickly. And then this has a button that's blank, and it goes to a blank screen, and it saves your bulb here. But when you do turn this off, did it not work?
No, don't turn it off.
Okay. It takes a little bit of cool down time. So between classes, they only have 3 minutes. So I just, if I'm not using it, I just use the blank key. So it saves the bulb. Any other questions?
This,
Where am I going?
you're going to go to, don't stand in the way.
I know it.
Okay, you're going to go to
We just redid our web.
staff web pages go to the administrators. I'm just leading you through my website, which connects to some podcasts that I've done. And so you're going to go to superintendent's webpage, and right here connects to my cloud. And we're just going to show, I made this little podcast of the teachers using the stations here. So teachers using technology. And, we got this largely from our foundation and fundraisers and the Board of Education. So now we want to show the community, how we're using their money. So I just went through and took pictures of our teachers, like the second month of school, and we have 40 of these in the classroom. And so I just wanted to give some little samples of people using it. So,
Today we'll focus on how the Oak Grove staff is using technology for teaching. Hello, I'm Janice Matthews, Superintendent. This fall, with the support of the Oak Grove school community, we purchased 40 presentation stations. Teachers who do not have one in their classroom may borrow a station from the Learning Center. The presentation station is a cart with a projector, DVD player, speakers, and a document camera that projects images on the wall. Here we see Mrs. Miller in first grade displaying sight words. Mrs. Evans in sixth grade is having her students edit and discuss writing. Ms. Sullivan is reviewing math homework. Ms. Query is teaching 8th grade science using notes. She also uses the online science textbook. At the end of the day, Mrs. Coronis is reviewing the homework in the assignment book, and each student can check to see that they have all of their assignments written down. Connecting a laptop to the projector allows Mr. Fisher to practice sight words with kindergartners in a way that really holds their attention.
I'm Mrs. Hills, I'm a grade social studies, and I want to share with you some ways that I use technology in the classroom. One of the ways is by using a PowerPoint. Today we were talking about the Virginia plan, and I love using this particular design because this is easier for the kids to read, and then they can just copy down most of the important information. The other technology that I use in the classroom is United Streaming. And United Streaming is a fabulous tool, and what I did was I went to my login, typed in Virginia plan for United Streaming, and I will show you the video that came up that I inserted in my notes.
this just happened to be what she was doing that day.
Yeah, it was. My goodness, sure.
We know it's discovery learning, but we stick with the old name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another way that I use technology is YouTube.
That's what she showed that day.
I did.
In fourth grade science is teaching about the duck-billed platypus. Now, the textbook is just one source of information as he takes his students via United Streaming on a field trip to Tasmania.
In the very historic and beautiful city of Hobart. It's here where we will hopefully meet up with a friend of mine. Her name is Eileen. She's a biologist and she specializes in the study of duck-billed platypus.
As you can see, with technology, we can create classrooms without walls, where teachers can whisk their students anywhere in the world. I'm very proud of our staff, who are learning more every day to enhance the teaching for our children. Thanks for listening.
So we did buy, to make it easier to post those, we did buy a .me account, a yearly account. That was just the easiest way to get her videos up onto the web by just doing that. So those are great videos, so that really sums it all up. Combining iPhoto and, no, you can, please. So that's the end of our show. Hopefully it was useful. Is there any questions for our teachers using it, specifics?
Did they go from using overhead projectors and transparencies? Is that what you were, that was your transition?
Yeah. And nobody wants those anymore. We had to give them away.
Yeah. Yes, Matt?
How did you deal, or maybe it wasn't the case, but if it were, how did you deal with teachers who still wanted to use the overheads?
No one did.
They could have 10 of them.
You know, Jason was so clever because what he did last year is, first we let him give people pilot, and then he just did a survey, and he just let people check yes or no. And the 40 that checked yes got them, and the other people didn't. And then they came back this year and said, hey, how do I get one of those?
And we had several teachers who were very hesitant to give up their overhead, and within 24 hours, that overhead was in our library. They were done. I mean, it was immediate.
I have one more introduction. Pat Rancine came in. She's our elementary librarian. And one of the reasons why our teachers are so successful is because of the way we structure our staff support. I think it's unique. And so it's easy to explain in the K3 setting. Pat is a librarian. Heather is a recovering third grade teacher who's been teaching, has a master's in technology instruction, and has been teaching technology for 7 years, just technology, 7 years. They've been teaching separately. She taught library, she taught tech, and then we decided to combine them 2 years ago. I'm looking for a term. Second year, where Pat teaches both the technology and library to the same grade level. So you teach
Kindergarten and third.
Kindergarten and third, and so Heather teaches first and second. Library and technology. So the technology is in blocks of so many days, and the library is the same day every week. Yes. And so the kids see them, and then also, probably critically, they go to the grade level meetings. So they are part of the grade level curriculum team. So they know what the teachers are doing, and we can definitely see the impact now the second year, now that they know each other and know the curriculum. We do the same thing for 4th, 5th grade with Jenna, who does 4th grade. In 5th grade, John Maynard does that. He's a recovering elementary teacher also. So, and they teach each other. I think it's pretty exciting. And we're trying to get that same model at the junior high, modified just because it's a slightly different schedule, to get that much support for that. And then we have an aide for the elementary side, whose job is just sort of be in the lab in case there's someone who's in need and takes care of other logistics. And Deb is aide and also a teacher of 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And so we're trying to create more resources for the teachers. They have someone right there ready to help them, right in need, who can drop whatever they're doing and go help them. And then there's 2 of us in the tech cave, as we call it, who we sort of are, when things get escalated to us, we repair or for network issues, student issues. So because of that amount of support, it's no wonder that teachers feel comfortable using it. It does take a little bit of time. So we're very lucky.
When you were making the decision to buy this equipment, did you consider interactive whiteboards as an alternative to this? Or the other question, I guess the other side of the coin is, did you have X number of dollars to spend and you wanted to get the most for your...
No. To answer the second question, no. Not to my understanding. That when we decided, we had Promethean come out, we had GraphTech come out and give a Promethean demo, and we had board members there, and a teacher. We had this task force. And we sort of took a vote, and it was pretty quick. Like, should we investigate this further? And everyone said, no, because it's too proprietary. One board member pointed out it doesn't go to the web at all. It's not transferable outside of the classroom. And so it was, for us, we're going, boy, it doesn't move. It's either everyone or no one. I have a philosophy of nothing is tied down. Everything should be on carts. We have almost nothing mounted to the walls for projectors, even when we had it, because I want that sharing. So it didn't really, when they said it's not really movable, then it didn't really fit our philosophy of sharing. So it wasn't, and then this, when we started talking about this design, we said, oh, that's exactly the next step for our teachers. And it can grow, and it's flexible, so that's where we went with that. But it was really personnel, individuals decided that, as it wasn't like, we saw it work.
But now you're looking at whiteboards.
Well, many of the classrooms, if you do walk around, still have chalkboards in them, and so, and the screens, and as teachers start to use these, what is the next tool? Do we want screens for the room? Is that what teachers need, or individual teachers? Do they want just regular whiteboards to replace it? Do we just take the film of whiteboard and put that, that sort of glues on top of a regular chalkboard? We don't know yet. So, this new product, this came out, is that the right thing? I mean, we just saw it. It's only been a week old in our life, so we haven't made any decision on Do we just get wireless mice? We don't know what the next step is. We sort of have to use everybody. And because we're a small school, we know everybody, it allows for quick decision-making and also flexibility that you don't have to do the same thing for everybody. So.
And when I was at the vendors at the ICE conference, I just overheard some people complaining. They were complaining about, and maybe other districts have had this issue, they were complaining about the brand, I think it was the Aver.
AverMedia?
Yeah, AverMedia, but I'm not sure. All the booths get to look the same. But they were complaining about the images were dark, and they couldn't brighten them, and the discussion was that each projector, that there's certain brands that work with other projectors better. And have you found, or has anybody found that to be an issue? No.
Okay, if we could just teach classes at night, we'd be all set.
Yeah.
The dark sun coming in the windows.
Yeah.
Because we know for a cafeteria which has windows, or this room like this, during the daytime, needs a 4,000 lumen projector. Well, that's $4,000. When you put that into another room, you'll go blind because it's so bright. So
I do turn off my classroom lights
Yeah,
sometimes, but the kids like it. When I turn them back on, they're like, Miss Diana, can you turn that off? And I'm like, no, you gotta work now. But
Yeah.
because you still get the light from outside, but they enjoy the light.
Okay.
yeah, it's not.
And I would say try the projectors before you, or not the document
Okay,
cameras before
definitely.
you are sold on it.
I went with a recommendation of our vendor, so. Who's, yeah.
If you're pursuing purchasing a document camera, what are some things you should look at? Like here today, I heard, does it show the whole page or does it? And some teachers may have been concerned about that. Also, we heard about the delay of the wait time of changing it, and you said that's a good reason to try it. I heard now the brightness of the image. Are there other things you were looking at?
The other thing I didn't, and I'll jump in, the one thing I didn't like about the gooseneck one, very hard to get a level image. Like, it had that flexibility of moving around, but to actually get it exactly parallel to your paper seemed very challenging. So your paper always looks some way keystoned. So
I also like how that one flips. So if
I wrote
you're
that down.
presenting and the turn.
That-
Having the light in the camera itself instead of the light separate, which is what we had before, was really, it's too hard to have the light and the camera separate because you can't have it on top of the page. And it's not bright enough, yeah.
you can try the other one. This one comes with a light. That's what you're seeing. So you can turn that on or off. I guess
There's laser.
there's laser markers.
Is there any kind of software that comes with it?
There is software that comes with it. We haven't had a chance to even play with it, but I'm guessing some of our colleagues here
Now, are
will.
those the Aver?
So I'm sure over the summer we'll start installing and putting it on the master image of the computer so people can start playing with it. It came with USB cords. It has a remote. We got 4 remotes right here. I mean, we Velcroed them to the drawer. So if you ever come up.
I got the opportunity to play with the document camera a little bit, and I was gonna use it in my ICE presentation, but things were not going so well, so I didn't.
So I read.
But but one of the things that I liked was it had some software to allow you to interact. You know, even if you had, if you had the whiteboard, it allowed you to interact right on top of their software. It was really very nice.
Oh, here's the gooseneck in question.
Lucas, do you use an adapter for microscope?
It does come when we have not recorded. Again, I know our teachers are here, but we have to go baby steps with this staff. That's just the personality of this group. Oh, thank you.
Different show.
Yeah. It means I saw that thing. So we've had a lot of change in the building at the leadership level over the past 8 years, and so I think that could just be the personality of the teachers, that people just want something to stay the same. I mean, they can say, oh, by the way, you're OS 10. By the way, there's a new version of Office. By the way, we decided to go Neo. Besides, we took away AppleWorks. Don't turn on every feature. I mean, that's my job, is to decide, what is the next easy step for the teachers? What should we not put in? We can only scan using Photoshop. There's no other way. That's the only place I put the driver. because then it's the same. I mean, questions, things like that come up. How do you make it look easy? How do you make it simple? And so you can't always answer. It depends when a teacher asks you a question. I mean, you want to be able to give them, well, we do it this one way. It doesn't do that yet, or something like that. So that's been a big challenge at our school, is to try to get teachers to take chances when things have been so challenging in some ways.
And sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised at how much the kids know too.
Question on the microphone.
Yeah.
The teachers, do you use the microphones in class all the time, or do we wear them like to amplify? No?
No, I'm surprised. We have 10 microphones, 5 of each type, and they rarely get checked out. I think maybe we're just not doing enough advertising, but I think we'll see more use of that as we start using it more and more. We have a Fine Arts Day coming up, so I think then they'll all see it being used, and people start doing that. Yeah.
What kind of mic is it again?
It comes with the Caliphone system,
Uh-huh.
so it's we can pull them out if you wanted to take a look, but they're a big 9-volt battery-powered mic.
But nothing like a lapel or something?
And
to wear around
there's
your
another
neck?
lapel, there's a lavalier, and there's another one that makes you look like Britney Spears, sort of wraps around your neck. You know, it sort of rests on your shoulders.
And that's completely separate from the rest of the equipment?
We had bought one for each cart. So you just can't see it. It's underneath here. And what I liked about it, it's a compact speaker, but it's got very good sound quality. And we didn't have to buy 2 speakers to make stereo. And then we hooked the DVD into it directly. And then we got the audio jack for the computer. And then
The speaker comes with the mics, or you have to buy
yeah,
those?
no, they were
extra?
separate. They were
They were
another
separate.
$100 or something each. That's why I only bought 5, and then you check them out from the library, and then everything it's barcoded, so you just check it out from the library. Really good. So, and it's nice and sturdy. We carry them around the building, and there's no wall wart. I mean, so it's just you just plug it right in. It's got a nice distance. So this has been our standard one. It has up to 15 channels. The one thing you've learned is, well, there's the
Brittany?
The Brittany, we call it. And there's the standard, there's one over the shoulder. One thing we did learn, you can have one microphone with many speakers. Did I say this already?
No, but you didn't tell them about the downside, the other side of
You
it.
can't have 2 kids going to one, you can't have 2 kids going to one speaker.
Right, you can't have 2 microphones going to one speaker. It keeps cutting each other out.
Yeah, it doesn't know how to do it.
So this one is, it can either be elastic around your neck or the clip-on model.
So there is a lot of talk about amplification in the classroom for boys or for all teachers, so this is not exactly that, to put them in each room and make it louder, but you know, it could be a way to trial.
You just plug them directly into the speaker?
What?
No,
They're
these are
wireless.
Oh, they're wireless.
So this you wear in your belt with either the Brittany or the clip-on. That one, you don't need anything with it.
Turn that.
This one's set to channel
And you
2.
go on and talk.
Yep.
Test.
And it will find the speaker.
I don't know what
No, you
channel
have to
it is.
set the speaker to the right channel.
There's-
So there's a little,
ID in the back.
you can either, you
Oh,
can either change the
Don't bother,
channel.
All right,
we trust you.
You
You
talk
can
into
either
it, it
change-
gets louder.
Yeah.
And you can either change the channel on the speaker or on the mic or both.
The other thing we just purchased that's on its way is a giant screen for things in the gym that's sort of related to this for projectors. And we saw a big, we had a presentation and our screen was, so this screen looked tiny in the big gym. So we got one that's the size of this window, like 200 inches diagonal. So it's on a truck on its way in to try that out. And then our last colleague, Mr. Maynard, I was telling John Maynard, who teaches Tech Ed Library, the 5th grade, here for our open house that starts in a half hour.
Going out of the school.
So please let us know if you have any questions, if you want to try out do you want to cover any topic? I talked to some people, I'm sorry, who wanted some other questions, information, or?
You had mentioned there was a possibility of a grant for flip cameras.
Oh, was that Vinny?
you found.
You sent the link? I'll show you the flip video, and then, didn't you send a link about 6 months ago?
Do you want me to grab one?
No, I got one.
You want to remind me?
It's a possibility, right?
6 months ago, I
could take some.
Actually, right up this door, it's a little bitty hallway.
I thought it was Vinny that sent, you sent a link saying, this is a flip video camera?
I need to stand up.
Yes.
Is that the 30 or the 69?
This is the 60, which one are we giving away today?
I think I'm the winner. I am listening, and therefore
I have them in my office. So this is the 60-minute one, and so with the right grant, it's just a website where you fill out, takes about 3 minutes to fill out. That once they prove you're in education, and I think I had to fax something over, or some number to them, then you can buy them for half price. So it was to Pure Digital. I'll have to check my website out because I have it in my computer somewhere. And so it shoots $75 quality video, or if you paid $150 for it at CDW, then it's $150 quality video, and it allows you to see the videos right here on that. This model that I recommend for schools runs off of the AA's. If you're buying one for yourself, I might get one that has the built-in charger battery. It lasts longer, but then you have to charge it before you charge it in your computer. So I would recommend the AA one. You shoot up to an hour. It keeps each thing separate. Those of you who've used film tapes, digital video, you know there's always that blue gap and it keeps counting again. You don't know where your clip is. This solves that problem. We are doing a project right now with 7th graders. They're doing PSAs and some other projects. We've imported them. They're perfect for that kind of task. They can also put them on a tripod, which is definitely valuable. And then when you're done, it's the USB. It has the software on it, right on it. Sometimes you have to go to the website to update it to the latest version once. And then it captures it and saves it as AVI files, which then you would then put it, in our case, put into iMovie if you needed to. So it's a two-step process, but the importing takes seconds, what used to take minutes in real time on the tape. The trade-off is it's a lower quality. But good enough is always a good answer. And then you can delete them from here and so on.
Are you happy with that cart? Carts are always...
I don't have that cart.
Are we happy with these
I have
cards?
a big one. Yeah, I mean, I do like the cart. I mean, I did adjust it a little bit so it was a little bit higher, but you can't put too much higher because then it wouldn't be on the board. And the other thing I like about it, you can see there's a lot of cords, but when I'm swapping and stuff like that, they just tuck right underneath, and I can keep movies in there and all the extra stuff and put it away.
There is a 2nd grade teacher who does call it the Beast, and it's well named. Because compared to her children, it's the... So we did get one with a drawer to make it feel bigger. It couldn't be too small, otherwise these two products wouldn't fit for paper. So that's about the minimum size it could be. So teachers complain about it sometimes. Some of them who don't use it too often just push it to the side of the room. So if you walk around and look in, you'll see some always being used, some are just being used for special occasions. And then John and I are trying something new. Because we have these 4th grades doing national parks, we're going to videotape the children with video behind them to make it look like they're in the national park. So if we set up the camera in the right place, it'll look like they're in the national park. We'll put a still up using the computer to flash the picture, and then we'll just videotape in front of it. It'll be like The Daily Show or something like that, some sort of fake thing. So
Green screen.
Green screens. We are going to try some green screen. Also, I use Final Cut Express, so we're going to try a demo green screen, but you need some higher end software to do that. Just an experiment. So see me if you need me to give you that quick website.
On our webpage, do we have the different types that we have of the hardware we have?
Of what this is. Oh, and you wanted to talk about, our next step is going to wireless now. So Deb's our cutting edge person, so she has 2 different types.
I have a wireless keyboard, goes with the apples.
That's the Bluetooth.
That is the Bluetooth. It has a power button that's hiding here, and this side here, you unscrew it and you can put your batteries in there. It's just a AA battery. On the mouse, oh, it's so cute. The thumb drive for this little guy. Well, here, maybe I'll show you. That's all it is. Can you see it? It's right here. It's just little itty bitty. He's so little. He's so cute. It's so
So
cute.
easy to lose.
Oh, no, it never comes out. I never take it out, and it just fits into my computer bag, so it works out wonderful there. And if you really want to be fancy, you can hide them inside your battery pack in your mouse, so you can even store them in there. But the reason, or the thing that we were talking about, and I'm looking forward to trying, I haven't downloaded the software yet, but I want to hook up my mouse to the teaching station in the lab right next door. So many times, I'm sitting on my chair in front of my computer trying to look at my students while I'm working and driving my computer and showing them something new. But my idea is to use, or our idea, is to use the mouse pad on my cart, and I can use my mouse up here, and I don't have to be close to my computer. I can be wherever I want. I can sit at a desk and drive my computer with my mouse from wherever I'm at. Photoshop Elements is one of the big programs, or the main programs that I teach with my 6th graders. So that works out wonderful because I really don't use the keyboard that much at all. And even if I did, I can go anywhere I want to. I'm not tied down to sitting down at my desk anymore. So I can move around the room. I can go over there on that side of the room if I wanted to as well. So we're kind of testing this idea out to see how it fits in. So I'm not so much tied down to my computer. For me, I have a laptop that I work with. I don't have a desktop. But for some of the teachers, all they have is a desktop. And they are tied at their desk. So this type of this might be like another stepping stone to help them move away from their desk and be able to move around the classroom a little bit once they do have a cart available. So it's another little fun way that you can go.
One of the things,
There's also a little product for the iPhone that allows
yes.
you to use your iPhone as a remote trackpad so that you can communicate with your computer wherever you are in the room.
Yes.
So you
What
just,
is that app called, do you know?
what's the app called? It's called PAD, P-A-D.
Oh, flipvideospotlight.com.
Because I went looking at the
Yeah,
digital.
I had to check my, so you apply, are you a charitable donation? Become a Video Spotlight partner. I guess we are. So apply now. If you're buying, there was something like, if you're buying more than 500, call us, we'll give you a new price. It was some high number.
Consolidate all of Lake County. Took video away.
Flipvideospotlight.com. Now it's on the screen.
But you know, the video cameras that are built, or the video that's built into most regular digital cameras now, if you buy a $200 Canon still camera,
Yeah.
the video quality is quite good in that too.
Similar, I bet the same.
And I wonder if you need a separate device if you're already carrying around a regular digital camera. Is there going to be that much difference in quality or whatever?
I don't think so.
Capacity.
That's always the game. Do you get one tool that does one thing really well, or a Swiss Army knife, because you only want to, that does everything okay?
Right.
And that's
You know,
always
like
the balance.
With the iPhone, you've got an iPod on here, but it has a small capacity.
Yeah.
Or do you need a larger capacity? Do you really need that capacity
Yeah.
so much that you're going to buy a separate iPod to carry?
Well, also, if you get too high quality, then it takes up too much memory. And then we don't have the ability, then you gotta buy a bigger computer, hard
Yep.
drive, so.
Yep.
He's right, Jeff's right.
one of the things that a lot of our teachers are using at the high school level is the Wacom tablet, and it's about $190 for the tablet, which comes with a mouse and a stylus pen. But instead of having an interactive board in the room, they tour around the room and will hand the tablet to students and have them do a problem. And as the students are working on the problem, of course, it's going to the computer and projecting up on the screen. And in high school, in littler grades, I can imagine them coming up to the board, but the high school kids don't do it as much, and they're very adept at writing and looking up there to write because they're so good with video games and stuff. So it's nothing for the kids.
And it doesn't phase them.
Doesn't phase them at all. They just sit there and they write. But that also comes with the mouse. So the same thing that what you were talking about, you could walk around with that slate with the mouse on top of it and be anywhere in the room using that as a mouse along with. And so Wacom, it's a Wacom tablet. It's like just a 6x8, and especially for Photoshop because you can do like the outlining and stuff with a stylus. It makes it easier for that. But our teachers travel a lot because we're a huge campus, if you know where Stevenson is. And to have the boards in every room is, you know, $1,800 for a board versus $189 for a tablet. They can throw in their backpack and go from room to room, and they've got their interactivity that they're looking to get without having to have the board. So, and some of them use, not as many use the mouse, but that it does come with the wireless mouse, which is kind of cool. So.
Which version is it?
Just the regular Graphite, the 6x8 or whatever, and they're Bluetooth. And our older computers, we had to buy little Bluetooth adapters, like your little Bluetooth. All our newer computers have Bluetooth built into them, but our older computers, we had to buy the little plugs so they would pick up the Bluetooth. But once you pair them, though, you're done.
Right,
They
right.
keep them in their computers all the time. They stick out about that much.
Yeah, they're not that
So,
bad.
you know, to be interactive and not spend a whole lot of money. And then the Ultimate Pen is the software that they use with that. I don't know how much that is, but that does, I think it might come with it. I just know that they install Ultimate Pen with it, so that allows them to draw and everything on there as well. So just to throw that in.
Yeah, that is a neat idea. Any other questions?
Where did Jason?
He just ran over.
He's talking to the Poly board.
Oh, sorry? Well, we're just trying to get back the Eno board.
Is that Gus?
Oh, I thought you'd be hiding out. So
Oh, no. I know, I wish.
That's what we usually try to do.
Well, on behalf of NICE, I would like to thank Jason and all the teachers who came today. Very interesting and something for us to all think about.
You know what, I have one question. In our district, you know, if we have a couple of teachers who are savvy enough, risky enough to do this, let's say 2 fourth grade teachers, what we find is when we put technology like this into, say, 2 of the 4th grade classrooms, parents will call and say, I want my child in that room next year because that teacher uses technology. And so let's say we have 2 other 4th grade teachers who are not that savvy, really not interested in using this technology at this point. So, you know, we have this quandary. Do we put technology in all 4 4th grade classrooms so, you know, we don't get the parents saying, I want my child in that room, knowing that 2 of those teachers, you know, we're lucky if they use it at all. You know, has anyone had this problem, or, you know, do you have any suggestions for solving it?
My
Yes.
district is going through this exact issue right now. We're installing Promethean boards. I was originally the
And that's
one-
exactly what we want to do.
That was, I was the first teacher in the district to scream loud enough until I got one, all right? So I got one, I started using it, everybody else started peeking in to see how it was going, and the enthusiasm grew from there. This year, 2 teachers in each building are piloting the whiteboards.
I see.
So there's 20 of them altogether in our district. Next year, we're rolling it out so that all the teachers in the grade level following the teachers that are piloting this year will have the whiteboards in their room. So like if the 2nd grade teacher is piloting, next year all the 3rd grade classrooms are going to have it. That way there's an equality of equipment.
What district are you?
This is District 112, North Shore 112,
Oh, yeah.
Highland Park Highway. And then the eventual plan is to roll it out to every grade level, but to do it in phases. I think it's so much smarter to do it ground up and
Yes.
build up the enthusiasm from those teachers who are gung-ho about using it. Let other teachers find out, hey, this is a great tool, rather than throwing it at everybody. Now, you did sort of do that, but there were 40 people who were willing to say, yes, I want one of these stations, and hopefully they're making good use of it.
Yes.
But I would rather see it come along slowly,
Actually,
but make it effective so that when the next grade level gets it, there's people that can help them use the board, give them ideas, and support them. So
We
that it
had
doesn't-
a teacher very similar that was, you know, I don't even know how to turn on a computer. anything. And she's came to borrow mine numerous times, and she just received hers, and she was beside herself because she figured out how to use it. She uses it, and now she can't, and then she's like, I don't know what I did before. So I think seeing, like you said, seeing others using it and, building a little confidence in it, if you get a couple, I think.
Yeah, I think from my point of view, what sold everybody was that they would come into my classroom and they would see the kids absolutely focused on whatever was going on at that board. It's a magnet for attention. They're tuned in to big screens. And this provides the same sort of thing in a different sort of way, but it's the same concept. Give them a big screen and they're going to look at it. Hardly ever do I show a video and have kids talking among themselves because they're just tuned into watching that board. To me, it just seems like the way to go.
Thank you. I also think that our district is going too slow in adding the technology, and I have too many teachers too frustrated that there isn't. But if one teacher just, grabs whatever we have, the other teachers seem to want it. Some are more afraid, so I think it has to do with the support. Maybe they need their hand held more.
Yeah.
Maybe they need more examples. Maybe they need mentoring. Maybe they need modeling. But they want it, they just are more afraid of it. I just had a teacher who, I said, oh, you signed up for we still have computers on cards, projectors to show, and I said, so I went there, I said, I'm not going to be there tomorrow, are you going to, do you know how to set up? Oh yeah, she says, it was so easy, someone showed me yesterday. She just had been afraid to do it. And when she realizes, so I think it just needs the hand-holding support. I don't think teachers are against learning.
Right.
They're afraid of breaking it.
Yes, I agree. It's a fear.
Or afraid of looking foolish in front of the kids. I think that's
Yeah, I don't know. I think that in education, we're all here to learn, so we're all growing. So I just don't see too many teachers not wanting it.
I'm not technological savvy at all. That's why I'm here. And I've heard of a projector before. Like, I'm an ELL teacher, and I bring up a lot of video clips and things on my Mac that I have, and I use it one-on-one with students. But then I have groups of 4. So now what? We have an Elmo. What is an Elmo? That's why I'm here, because I don't know the names of the different things we're supposed to be using. And
it's all about
it's available, and I've got to go check it out, and that's why I came today. Is that a projector there to the right?
Elmo is a brand name that is known for making document cameras. So that white one in the middle there is made by the Elmo company, but it's like Kleenex. Everyone calls this an Elmo historically, correct?
Well, just like they call interactive whiteboards smart boards. But yeah, that's a brand name.
So that one, if you look at it, it says Elmo on it because that's the brand name. This one says AverMedia, but they're document cameras is what they are.
So in other words, if I have a sheet of paper, I just stand to the side here, put it towards me, but it's going to project up there.
You can take a trial run if you'd like.
Okay.
I
would like to.
It's like a overhead projector.
Except that you stand here.
And you don't have to use
But you don't have to use
my age when
transparency.
someone kept saying for an Elmo,
But you don't have to use
I said,
transparency.
and then that was
an opaque
projector.
Yes.
I didn't know what she was talking about.
An opaque projector?
Yeah.
You used to put the book
She
in there.
kept telling me I want an Elmo. I said,
and what did it
why?
We have
It
one
was
still
like
here.
the Elmo, except it was a big, huge
Oh, it was
box.
a big
You
brown
did
one.
have to
Yeah.
sit
Oh,
down.
I do.
And then you would harder than
Pictures
Hades.
on
You
the
put
wall.
your
I
book
had never
in.
heard of what you
Then you have to
meant.
smash the book
I
against
never
the
heard about
glass.
what being a document camera.
It's an opaque. We have one here in the building.
You know what, Tammy? Then I can
Yes.
take like a book for first graders and
We have this
put it
program
towards
that we
me,
started about
but
3
it will
months ago.
project up there,
It's called
and then I
Tech
can have
1-on-1.
the kids go up and read
And
and
so
circle
the
on
teacher is
the board.
allowed to book
It's
us
like the opaque
after school
projector that
or before
we used to
school.
kind of use.
Well, yeah,
Up to 5 hours. Their
Yeah,
chairman has to
well,
approve it. And then we help them with whatever they want to know.
And
that's
You don't have to do that.
All right, well, it seems
don't
we've
have to
dissolved into small discussions. I think
So
it'd probably
I
be
can walk
best
you through it.
to try to bring it back together again. I think this portion of the program is over. I was going to offer anybody a chance to get up and talk about something they saw at the ICE conference a couple of weeks ago and share that with us. Maybe if it's just a session that they went to that was
Or the nice
interesting.
mini conference.
Or the nice mini conference, if some of you attended that. We were thrilled.
Or presented at.
We were thrilled with the turnout for that. That was a record-breaking turnout. We had over 200 people there, and we never had that many people, so we're very pleased about that. And so if anybody has anything they'd like to share.
And we did get the okay to have it there again next year if I want to do it. The Stevenson High School people are like all for it, and even offered to have a tech person on hand, so I don't have to be the tech person. Because I was talking about some of the challenges that we had, and it's like, well, you know, we could get somebody and comp their time out. Like, would you do that? Sure. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the August thing too? There's that thing in Stevenson.
Yes, I would definitely like to talk about the August thing. There goes power. Western Illinois University is partnering with Stevenson High School for the third time this year, August 4th and 5th. And if you've never seen, if you went to ICE, you would have seen the Red Hot Technology Solutions, the girls from Western Illinois University, staff development. They run the summer experience, and they've run it at Western for I don't know how many years. 3 years ago, thanks to Sharon's nudging, we asked that we partner with them and that they bring their show up to Stevenson, because Western is a good trip. How far is it to drive down there?
4 hours.
4 or 5 hours, and then you have to stay overnight and all that. And they really, really have a good program. So we've, for the last 2 years, had it at Stevenson. We've had wonderful door prizes and giveaways. Any of you know that you've been there. We get hotel rooms for the night. We had wine tasting and beer parties. I mean, we were, Sharon and I were out there pounding the pavement looking for donations, and Sharon's a very good schmoozer. I just go and look like helpless, you know.
But we got thousands of dollars.
Yeah, we did. We really did well on the, excuse me, we really did well on the donations, and hopefully we'll do as well this year. But what they've done, it's $100 for the 2 days. It includes the meals, and typically it was 2 days full of 2 3-hour sessions. So you would do a 3-hour session in the morning, you'd have lunch and activities, and a 3-hour session in the afternoon. Because of travel costs, gas costs, and all the other costs, they're cutting it back a little bit this year, where it's going to be 1 afternoon session on the first day. So you'll check in like at 12 or 2 or something like that. It'll be an afternoon session with a light dinner and a sock hop, because the theme is Happy Days Are Here Again. So they're going to have like a little sock hop social. We went bowling for the last 2 years, a little bit social activity, and then a full workshop the all next day. Jason's doing a 6-hour class in Photoshop elements, and so if you sign up, you will, when you do sign up, the sign up is going to be in April, when we'll open up and we'll put it on the Nice blog, and you'll see things in the newsletter coming up. But you have to pre-register for the classes that you want. So they'll fill up. They only take, I think, 20 in a class. So if you're interested in something like Jason, I'm going to be doing a workshop on Web 2.0 tools for the absolute beginner. Michelle Russell is going to be doing one on iWeb. We have some local people, some of the Western Illinois staff will be doing podcasting and some other great technologies. So then the next day we have a morning speaker. Lori Abrahams is going to do her Digicitizenship as the breakfast speaker. And then 3-hour session, a lunch with games again, another 3-hour session, and that's the day. But so it's jam-packed for 2 days. You meet a lot of nice people. CDPUs. You get the CDPUs. Our goal is to get, I think, 100 people this summer. We've had 70-some people last summer and like 60 the year before that. So we're really trying to push the word out. So
what's great about it is there's something for the very beginners, so they will not feel intimidated. So bring people who are new at this. You don't have to be an expert. So
those 4th graders that are just testing the waters, this is a great place because there's no pressure. It's a lot of fun. Everybody, it's very, very, loosely structured.
It's like a family. It's really fun.
It is.
It's a fun, and they can go for any level of expertise, from very beginner to
more advanced. So there's something for everyone. So I just want to
say August 4th and 5th?
It's August 4th and 5th. I think it's a Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday, Thursday? Is that right?
Tuesday,
Wednesday? Tuesday, Wednesday. I know it's like midweek. And they'll be, if you can't do the August 4th and 5th, they're doing the exact same thing at Western if you want to travel down into the cornfields. The good thing about when you go there, hotel rooms are very cheap. You can spend, you know, for them to come up here and stay at even like the Marriott Suites or whatever, they're paying $150 to almost $200 a night for the Western staff to come up here.
Western is the 22nd and 23rd of July. What days are those? It's a Wednesday, Thursday. 22nd, 23rd.
Is this information on the, is it called ICE?
It's actually on, it's on our NICE blog. If you go to our ICE page, you know, the chapters.iceberg.org/NICE, you get the newsletter from us.
Western Illinois University, WIU.edu.
And then it's summer experience, but it's S something or other. Let me tell you exactly what it is. Give me a second here.
But you're doing the exact same thing. A little bit different, but some of the presenters from here do go down there, do it there, then come here. And some of the presenters from there do drive up and do it here.
And when you go to register online, this is what it looks like. It's Western Illinois University, wiu.edu/OTEP/summer experience. Office of Training and something, I don't know. Office for Partnerships, Professional Development and Technology. That's what the OTEP. And summer experience. But you get to see the whole roster and who's teaching what, and then you can look at both dates and say, well, I want to do the July one or I want to do the August one. But if you do go to Western, you'll end up spending like $60 for a hotel room for the night. Right. And you're going to get a meal, like a dinner when you get down there, and a breakfast is just a continental type breakfast. It's nothing really elaborate. We do bagels and fruit and things like that. And then lunch, usually a salad with chicken in it or something like that. So, and then our sock hop dinner. So that's something new. We're going to have like a little dance. And then you'll be done the first night by 8. I think is when we figured we'd go until 8 o'clock. And then we start right again at 7:30 the next morning. So it's really a fun time. And it's at Stevenson. So it's air conditioned. It's a nice place to hang out.
It's close if you go the one here. If you go the one down there, you see a lot of cornfields, but you do pass an outlet place. Telling you from past experience.
If you need to shop,
well,
go to Western.
It's nice there, while you're driving. It's good to know. And there are a lot of good prizes, though. If you came and did nothing but just came for the prizes, I mean,
almost everyone's a winner.
Well, like a nice mini conference, the prizes.
They were fun. It's a fun group.
Yeah, this group is pretty good at schmoozing. I don't know.
We have too much fun.
Ice stuff? Jeff, you want to go back to that topic or?
Whatever. Does anybody have anything in particular they would like to mention?
I had a really good time. It was the first time I did 3 days in a row.
Wow.
And I didn't stay over. Next year, if I do that, I will stay over.
At least one night.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of driving. For the pre-session, I took the full day Excel. So if anybody manipulates data and does pivot tables, these guys were wonderful, and I learned so much from them.
I was really sick the 2 days I was there, so I just kind of hacked my way through it for a couple of days. There were a couple of good sessions. I like the one that, I can't remember her name, the teacher from Central Illinois that had all the iPod touches.
Karen Thompson.
Karen Thompson. She brought all these iPod touches and loaded them up with about 100 programs and handed them out to people at her session and let them play with them. And of course, I didn't get one because I had my iPhone already, so I had to play with my own iPhone. But she threw out a lot of good ideas in a short amount of time, and it was fun. Any other sessions that people attended and remembered?
I like that speaker on the first day.
From Michigan State?
He spoke about games in the classroom, and specifically for learning other languages. Showed, and I went to his third session where he talked about, he showed his Chinese site and how doing these different games to learn a language can be helpful. And I thought it was a good speaker.
I was very involved with like the AT playground this year, which I was really pleased with, and I think it went really well. And if you didn't get to the poster sessions, you really want to make a trip through there, because there were some really great poster sessions going on. There was the Assistive Tech Playground, there was the Second Life Playground, and it was a very happening place. There were a lot of people in and out of there. And the posters, the poster sessions, you get so much one-on-one time that you can get any questions answered that you want to, based on their projects. So I highly recommend that if you didn't make it there this year.
And the student presenters at the
And the
Assistive
student
Tech.
presenters, yes.
Is there a date for the next one, and will it be at the same place?
Yes, and yes, for ICE.
Did you put that on the letter?
It's always the last week of February.
Okay.
I'm glad it came back because it's renamed ICE.
Except
ILTC.
for Indiana also has ICE, and there was this big controversy. ICE is canceled. I mean, no, that was Indiana, not Illinois.
Didn't they get canceled because of ice too?
Because of the weather.
Yeah. Well, last year we had that big snowstorm. And some people didn't show up.
We had rain this year. We had rain, yeah, we were much happier with rain.
Which Tom Skilly said would have been 20 inches of snow if it snowed.
I remember an ice storm where half the people were in
Are
the
we going to
ditch
have a
one
raffle?
year.
Oh, God.
How are we having what are we doing?
Well, we've got 2 meetings left, right?
Today and May, that's
Yeah,
right.
so do one today and one in May.
All right.
So we need to pass
So
out.
if you
I
don't
didn't bring
win
the
today, you
tickets.
can come back and try to win.
How are we
I didn't
doing
bring
that?
tickets.
May
no.
6th is a Wednesday.
You could just tear up a.
May South.
I have tickets in my room.
Yeah,
Go get
I
them.
have tickets.
All right. We've got tickets
You
here.
get the direct tickets.
Yeah, I know.
You get to leave early because you're right yesterday. I took a note on those pages.
I'm sorry, I don't get out.
May.
And
then I stopped at the library.
It's a high school.
Very nice.
This is my neighborhood, This is my neighborhood.
If you need CPDUs,
Okay.
I really think we should have
if you need CPDUs, just for you, hand sign. Hand sign, not just photocopy sign.
What is this?
Could sell them on eBay.
Yeah. And then here's the survey. Now, we do read the survey, so it's
Yeah, the surveys are important. Surveys.
even if you don't need CPDUs, if you could fill out a survey, that's always helpful.
Okay.
While we're getting our raffle thing together, who needed the forms? Anyone on the back table?
I'm sorry.
I didn't see them because I realized I didn't explain it. Great. When you say teach, the children or the
Yes.
teachers? Currently, I teach
I'm always in the
which I do.
If it was my son, I would have taken it, but. One's in Denver, one's in Spain, so just talk or Skype every day. Yeah.
I've got a Skype. I've got it.
Try to make everyone equal.
My daughter called me the other day, why aren't you answering this? I didn't hear it. Give me that.
Yeah, me neither. I'll take the unsent one.
Okay, right, good one, Lori. You want? Here.
Did you get a?
Right. Here you go. Sure. Are you a deer fan? I'll take more than one, you know.
Anybody else?
I'll stack it up.
Wacom,
You
Wacom,
only get half a chance.
and I just had it up on Amazon here, so that you can
Half a chance of winning.
Here. This is the one that they use, the Wacom Graphite Bluetooth, and they're only $89 right now. Please Super Shaver on Amazon.
I
Well, that's
Right, the plugin handles everything, you don't have to upload software. You don't have to, the software would be the software for the, if you want to use the pen software for the drawing piece of things. But if you just want to use this as a stylus, like working out of Photoshop or using the mouse, it puts in something called, it works with it if you're Mac, it works with the Mac. So you might as well, the Mac has something called input built into the system, and it recognizes ink. And what's awesome is you can actually annotate and draw inside of Microsoft Word. So it actually works with Microsoft Word, and I think better on the PC
You
for
must be
that.
present to win.
So
Everybody get around.
Upload a driver, every non-board member.
Yeah, every non-board member
Oh,
gets
I
a
did.
ticket. Did you get a
I did.
ticket?
I'm the board member.
She has a ticket, but
I'm not eligible.
Okay, here we go. 30-minute.
Drum roll, please.
Winning ticket.
I'm flipping out for
It's
flips.
410.
I got it, man, much. I got it.
608. Congratulations.
Why, thank you.
That was
Seven at the end.
Next meeting, we have another video camera, but it's a different brand.
You need proof?
No?
I want to sit, no, I want to.
Nobody else. Did win today,
Okay, I've got it.
And then the last one is quick right. You'll see, it'll say staff only.